Lesufi is with me now. MEC, good evening. Thank you so much for coming in.
Welcome, Steve. Thank you so much to see you on your role.
16,000 children you don't have places for. What's going to happen to them tomorrow?
Well, yes, it's a headache. We just have to sort it out by the end of January. We will. Last year, by this time, we're standing at 25,000. So at least there is some sort of experience that we have developed, thanks to those parents that went online to register, because that makes things easier for us. Because we know the language immediately, we know the school you want, so we can be in a position to place your child. So the 16,000 that we are having, we have a system within the education space. The first week, we have asked our schools, don't ask learners to write tests or examinations so that we can catch up on placement. It's only the third and the fourth week that we can start with our academic program. It's a delay, but it's something that we need to manage. But I think we are up to the task.
The particular problems in Tshwane West and Joburg Central, why those particular areas? Is that just because there are more people moving there?
Yes, the demographics around those areas have changed, but the changes within our schools have not catch up or caught up with those changes. For example, in the Centurion area, we've got more parents that want to study in English, but we've got more African-speaking schools. So we just have to persuade other schools to convert so that they can accommodate English. But we are quite convinced with the new school that we are opening in that area, we'll take all those children to that school. It's just that it's not ideal to have a school of grade 8s only. It creates its own problems and its own challenges. But we are starting in that fashion now, but we are hopeful by next year we'll have sorted out the problem by building a new school in that area.
There's been huge controversy around language issues in the past, particularly Afrikaans schools, particularly actually in some of those areas in Gauteng. Are we going to have a repeat of that this year?
Well, I think we found each other. I had a meeting with AfroForum. I had discussions with them. I also had a meeting with FETSAS. I had good discussions with them. We have agreed that let it be a joint program rather than an individual program. It must not be MEC Lesufi entering this space or FETSAS or any organization resisting Lesufi. But let's identify where we believe we need to convert. Let's jointly arrange and resolve that problem. And I think it's an arrangement that I fully support, and hopefully it will yield the necessary dividends that we need.
You and AfriForum have a complicated history, MEC. I say complicated, I'm being quite polite. Are you bearing the hatchet?
We tried. We are friends. I think we understand each other. Is that we've got different beliefs. But the more we interact, I think genuinely we can see that everyone has the interest of learners at heart rather than any other interest. And I'm quite pleased that they're willing to give us a hearing, and we're also willing to interact with them so that we can resolve the differences that we have.
One of the problems that we've seen after the matric results, and I'm sure you'll have seen this, it's a national problem, not just a Gauteng problem, is how many children fall out of the system. In other words, we have so many going in at grade 1, 12, 13 years later, you don't see them all coming through with matric. Is there anything you can do as a province, as the Gauteng province, to try and track those pupils? I mean, when we look at youth unemployment rates of 56%, those are the children we're talking about.
You might be right. It's just that there's no systematic tracking system that we have as a country and as a department. And it's just unfortunate that when the accusations come, we don't have evidence that we can prove that some of the learners have gone to TVET colleges, some of the learners have gone to IEB, some of the learners have gone to other provinces, some of the learners have gone outside the country. So we don't have a system that tracks those learners. And people assume, therefore, because we can't track them, it's either all of them will fail or all of them are in the unemployment queues or are in prison, or some of them queuing for social grants. Our view was that this year's learners that are going to do grade R, 140,000 of them, we are introducing that tracking system. We are going to track each and every learner. And thanks to the online registration, because they've registered online, we can track their ID numbers wherever they are. And we really believe that we'll be in a position to give tangible answers to this question in the next 12 years.
I mean, data has been used in many other countries to improve education systems. We're going to improve the management of our data.
I think that's the best way to take this process forward. It's very important, and I think it's a valid question when people say, where are these young people? We need to know where they are they safe, are they well, and what are their needs? And we can bring other government departments to say, assist us to resolve this particular problem.
Talking of data, I'm sure you'll have seen the stories over the weekend suggesting that President Cyril Ramaphosa is going to announce big changes in education. Coding will come in. Also the idea of, one learner, one tablet, if I can coin an expression for you. That was something that you did in schools in Soweto, I think, 2-3 years ago now.
I was on cloud 9 when I read that story.
Was it as successful as people say it was?
No, it was successful. I mean, in Gauteng, all our township schools, grade 12 is one learner, one tablet, one classroom, one smartboard, one teacher, one laptop. It has given us the good results. If you check our township results, they're brilliant. We've got 39 schools that are our full-blown ICT schools from grade 8 unto grade 12, where learners are using these devices. So technology is the future. Let me be honest. It's not the only answer, but it's the future. It's the basis that we need to resolve some of the challenges that we have. Learners don't have to go to a library every day. They can get the library immediately inside the classroom. If we speak about the volcano, a learner don't have to go and imagine what is this thing called a volcano. They can go to the smartboard and their devices and see what is a volcano. And there are many curriculums and many programs that are available internationally. So learners can access those particular programs. So when I saw that thing, I'm crossing my fingers that it's true, and if it's true, it will take us forward and it will resolve some of the challenges that we had. And I hope the President, when he unveils that State of the Nation address, this will be high on the agenda, and some of us will not stop dancing.
I think some people, not everyone's convinced. The education researcher Dr. Nicholas Spall at Stellenbosch University has suggested to the SABC this week that actually it doesn't necessarily lead to better results. What it probably will do for you, though, surely, is it will make the transfer of information cheaper, because one tablet per learner is probably cheaper than 10 textbooks.
I always argue with people that some people don't understand how education works. You know, to write the matric exams, you have to print almost 4.8 million documents. But if you have to store them, you have to transport them, you have to protect them with bullets and guns, all those things. But if you have an electronic version, everyone has a data, and everyone has a tablet, what do? You just download the paper, and the learner sees the paper and answers. It has saved you traveling costs, it has saved you storage costs, it has saved you printing costs, and all other related matters. It might not be the answer, but at least it lays a firm foundation from which we can build a quality education for our children.
Okay, so it's a big day for you tomorrow. It's a busy week indeed. When do things calm down? I mean, presumably long before the Easter school holidays.
Normally the second week of January is a week that we go through these difficulties, and I'm quite convinced that after that everything starts to go down. I still have, when I dash here, I still have to go and buy school uniform, school stationery for my own child as well. She has been calling me. So I'm part of that family group that leaves things in the last minute purely because of our responsibility. So it's a big day, and I wish all parents well, and I'm hopeful that come tomorrow, 90% of schools in Gauteng will be ready to welcome those young ones as they come in tomorrow morning.
Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Do appreciate it on the SABC News Channel. As 4 Witbank children allegedly